day 2 and we are up before sunrise again.
Yeah, we're up just before 5 a.m. and we're in the queue in the center of Aguas Calientes to get the bus to Machu Picchu. We're finally going. The weather looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very early, there's not much light yet, but it looks like a nice clear day. We're going to jump on the bus. I think it takes about 20 minutes to go up the mountain.
We decided to get the bus and bought our tickets last night because it takes an hour and 40 minutes to walk up from the town of Machu Picchu to the citadel of Machu Picchu. So yeah, we decided to spend the $12 each to get ourselves up there.
Yeah, you buy your tickets from one of the streets in the middle of town. But yeah, we get up there and then we go in. We've got a few hours inside the site looking around Machu Picchu, and then we're going to hike down and along to hydroelectric, and then we head back to Cusco later.
Let's go.
Let's go. So we've arrived at the top. It's a really easy 20-minute bus ride to the top. It's pretty windy, you get amazing views. And this behind me is the footpath to walk from Aguas Calientes to the entrance. And we've seen a few people coming up looking very sweaty and saying that was tough. So for me, I think it was worth the $12 per person to get to the top.
So that's the bus route that we just did, just winding up, and then that's the walking route that we might do back down, but not up.
And we're in.
Top tip, you have to enter the park in between the hours that you have the tickets. Our ticket is between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. and we have entered at exactly 6:30. There's some people in front of us whose ticket was from 7 until 8 p.m. and they just got turned away. You're not allowed to enter earlier than your ticket states.
And the first entry to the park is at 6 a.m. and the last entry is at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
First glimpse.
Mind your head. Wow, just at that way there. Yeah.
Welcome to Machu Picchu.
Wow.
This is one of the new 7 wonder places of the world.
That took about 1 minute from the entry to get to this point. I didn't know I expected it to be that straightforward. Just like that, after days of travel by train and buses, we walked straight into the heart of Machu Picchu. It is even more incredible to see it in person than we imagined. And for those that hike the Inca Trail, the feeling of making it to the top must be even more euphoric. Arriving early enough to watch the sunrise up over this ancient hidden citadel in the mountains is a truly unique and quite biblical experience, and we couldn't wait to learn more about this fascinating wonder of the world. We're Craig and Kirsty, a couple who have been on the road for the past 3 years sharing our adventures around the world. Right now we're making our way through South America and exploring everything it has to offer. If you enjoy seeing new places and real experiences, please subscribe and welcome to the adventures of Tide Not Travellers. A little info for you on Machu Picchu. So it was built in 1450 by order of the Inca king, Pachu Picchu. Yes! So it was built in 1450 by order of the Inca king, Pachu Picchu, and in 1532, when the Spanish invaded this part of the world, the Inca Trail was destroyed, which actually blocked off Machu Picchu, which in effect protected Machu Picchu. That's why you don't see Catholic churches and a completely different look to what it is today. So directly behind me, the famous shots that you see all over Instagram and famous Machu Picchu marketing shots, that's where the nobility used to live. There's like 500 to 800 people that lived there. And then where I'm sitting right now, you've got like this staggered farmland. So there used to be farmers that lived up in the houses there, and that's where all the food was for the nobility and for everyone who lived here for those 80 odd years or so. Yeah, it was strategically located between the mountains and the jungle, and of course, as we know, the Incas worshipped the sun. So right now we've just got sunrise. You can just see it hitting here, which looks absolutely beautiful, and they would stand here and obviously worship that each day as well. So yeah, pretty interesting. So when I mentioned earlier about the Incas choosing this position between the mountains and the jungle, part of that was because the mountain over there behind is called Machu Picchu, and that's where the natural spring was. And so of course that made sense for them, because they then could build canals through, all the way through the farming part to the nobility that I showed you earlier, and that allowed them to obviously give water to the whole city. So it makes sense that they would do it that way. And yeah, you can see there, perched on top of the hill, you have the Guardian House, which nowadays is used to allow people in and out of Machu Picchu. And where I'm standing right now is the divide between the farming area and the urban area, or the nobilities area. It's a natural fault line. Although I am not a natural morning person, I highly recommend, if you can, get yourself some Machu Picchu tickets early in the morning so you can watch the sunrise, because that was just stunning, watching the sunrise up over here. Also, of course, it's a little bit quieter now. There's still people around, there always will be, but it's much quieter and it's going to get busier, so yeah. Highly recommend it. Getting up before sunrise 2 days in a row, totally worth it.
The stoneworks are different than that. We have that style, pirca or rustic style. The stones not polished.
Behind me you can see the Sun Temple, which was how the Incas were able to determine between summer and winter. And the window here, when the sun would shine through there, it was the summer solstice on June the 21st. And then when it would shine through the other window on December the 21st, it was the winter solstice. So back in those days, they believed the sun was moving, of course, and not the earth. But either way, it still allowed them to determine when to do certain things with farming for the seasons changing. And of course, they celebrated the solstice. So one of the many reasons that I'm vegetarian is because of the wastage of animals in our world today. However, if I was an Inca, I think there may be a different feeling, and that's because they used to use llamas for farming to help them to carry things, and they also used to use them for meat, to eat them. But they also used every part of the llama. So they used the fur, of course, to make clothes and for warmth. They used the skin to make rope because it's strong, and even shoes. And they also used to use them for sacrifices because, of course, their religion as such was to worship the sun and to give back to the earth. So they used to make human and animal sacrifices. So they would use llamas for that. So yeah, they really did make full use of everything, even their bones. They used their bones to make musical instruments. So they really didn't waste anything, which, you know, in today's society, we could probably learn a lot from that.
Yeah, they use the objects. That the place is important, sacred. Not everybody was allowed. So if the people come here, look this.
Around 70% of what you see today at Machu Picchu is the historical original material, and about 30% has been restored. Of course, back in the day they did have roofs which were made of wood and straw, but obviously they didn't last the test of time like the stone has. Also, there's 3 different types of stonework as you go around. You have the sort of jaggedy stonework like this, which is the more basic level, and then you have some neater stonework but not quite perfect, and that's where the sort of religious and priest area is. And then of course you have the really perfect stonework, which is your sort of high-end fancy stuff that was for the nobility and the Inca king. These Incas definitely knew how to pick a place to live. I think of all the kind of old ruins that we've walked around the world, the Incas, this place is probably the place I think I'd want to live the most, because you've just got beautiful nature. I mean, this is stunning. It's like you're up in, kind of feels heavenly and godly up here. And just, yeah, the way they've got everything set up so nicely, you can kind of imagine it, where how they had things. They've got great food resources, clothing resources, water system. It's just, yeah, really, really good. I like it. I think it's my favourite one.
We've now reached the entrance for Machu Picchu, which is the smaller of the two mountains that you kind of see in the backdrop of all the famous pictures of Machu Picchu. You have to pay a little bit extra, but for us it comes as part of our tour to climb to the top of it.
Yeah.
So let's head through.
We chose to do circuit 4, which is what we've just walked around now. There are 4 different circuits you can do, and then we have this tagged onto it, so you're going to get a little higher view.
Basically, we're going to see Machu Picchu from the opposite view.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, looking
Yeah.
back towards all the pictures that you see taken.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's head on.
So we're only partway up Machu Picchu and the views are already absolutely beautiful. You can actually see down there some more of that staggered farmland that I told you about earlier. And on top of that there's a load of vegetation that you can see. So apparently if they were to dig and lift all that up, they'd probably find even more, because it kind of links through to the main area where I was showing you earlier. And just over there you can see the bridge that we're going to walk over later, and then around here you've got the town of Machu Picchu that we stayed in last night, also known as Aguas Calientes. So after we've done this we are going to cross the bridge and follow the railway around that way. I don't know if you can see the train down there, but yeah, that's the route we're going to take later. We've got like a 3-hour hike, plus if we do the whole walk down from here rather than the bus. But yeah, oh, and we're going up here of course. A lot of walking today. Let's go.
You might just be able to see that line cutting steep up the side of that mountain. Well, that is the Inca trail that heads up to the sacred mountain. I mean, that looks steep. It's literally going straight up. There's no zigzag or anything. And look how biblical it looks with those sun rays coming through the cloud. That's beautiful, and that's the sacred mountain up there. Looking back across the Machu Picchu site, you can also see going up here, this is the original Inca trail that goes back to Cusco, and you can also climb to the top of this mountain here. What a view that must have. And that's also the same route that you come along if you do the 4-day, 3-night Inca trail trek to Machu Picchu. Breathe in.
It's the bag, it was tricky.
So we're very nearly at the top of Machu Picchu Peak, and all the way up there are these spectacular viewpoints over the Machu Picchu site. Just look at that, it's so heavenly up here, so biblical, again with all those sun rays splitting through the clouds. But I'm just going to quickly show you the 2 different routes, or the 4 different circuits around the site. That is the beginning of routes 1 and 2, and this is circuit 3 and 4, which we came along. So you can see circuit 3 and 4 starts a little bit lower. You still get a beautiful view over the site, but obviously circuit 1 and 2 you're going to get a higher vantage point across the site. I think circuits 1 and 2 wiggles down here and joins 3 and 4, which kind of comes through here, and then we've come down and round here. And down in the valley here, if you go around that way, you go around to Aguas Calientes, and around here this follows the railway all the way around these 2 peaks. Following the river and the railroad, you can see there's a bridge crossing there. You go around here, the other side of there, that's where we've got to walk to at hydroelectric.
And whatever circuit you do, I really recommend doing Machu Picchu, because this gives you just the highest vantage point looking over the whole of Machu Picchu. It's incredible. And of course, because we did circuit 4, that was part of the reason we wanted to do this as well, so that we could get this awesome view. I love it. Let's go to the top. Being up here and listening and learning from our tour guide about the Inca's life was absolutely fascinating. The effort involved in building this city so high up is an incredible feat, and the addition of all the farming infrastructure with the rows of steps enabled the Incas living here to feed everyone sustainably, But for us, the views these people had right from their home is the ultimate winner. They sure knew where to pick a location to live.
Time to head back down and get jelly legs. This is a good warm-up for our hike back down to the river.
And that is a wrap on Machu Picchu. Adios Machu Picchu, adios Pachamama.
And you're probably wondering, is Machu Picchu worth it? Yes.
It is.
Definitely.
Yes.
There's a reason why thousands of people come here every single day.
Yeah. Just in the interest of honesty, my knowledge that I've imparted upon you today about Machu Picchu does not come from me being an expert in South American history. It comes from our wonderful tour guide, Eda.
Eda, yeah, thank you so
I have to give him
much,
credit
Eda.
for that. It's been amazing. As always, like learning these things as we go around the world is part of why we travel, and hopefully it's inspired you to get yourselves here as well and shared a little bit more about what Machu Picchu is about and its
Absolutely.
history.
Yeah, and you don't have to have a guide to come around and see the site
No,
of
you don't
Machu
have to.
Picchu, but we learned so much, so
recommend
we would
it.
definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eda. Thank you. Gracias. But yeah, we have about 4 hours until we've got to be at hydroelectric to get our 2 o'clock bus back to Cusco, so we really need to get a wriggle on now.
Vamos, vamos. So we made the executive decision to walk back down after taking the bus up here this morning. We'll walk back down, save ourselves the $12. So it's going to take us about 40 minutes to walk down to where the bus would take us down, and then from there we've got about a 2.5-hour walk back to Hydroelectrica, where we then get the bus back to Cusco tonight. So let's go. We've got 4 hours. We can do this.
We've made it, we're back down into the valley.
Yeah, just under 40 minutes from the top down to the bridge, and both our legs are like jelly now. I'm thankful to be having a little bit of flat walking now.
They really are. I can't actually tell if it's the bridge wobbling or our legs.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
beautiful here.
would recommend if you want to hike up or down, get the bus up and hike down, because it
Unlike
looked
what we did.
brutal for the people going
That
up.
was steep.
Right, now it's time for the 2.5-hour hike along the train tracks
Which is flat,
to
we're told.
Hydroelectrica. But we've got to dodge the train.
Yeah, of course.
There's also a little snack bar at the bottom here, so after you've come down or before you go back up, you can get some snacks or water. Oh, that breeze! The river looks so beautiful and inviting. Such a shame you can't river tube your way back to Hydroelectrica. That would be nice, very refreshing.
This part of the walk is incredible. There's literally nobody else, just us surrounded by these giant mountains and jungle and train tracks. It's
And
incredible.
flies.
Yeah. We haven't seen anyone else for ages, just me and Craig out here for hours.
I'm hoping on this 2.5-hour hike we do get to see a train go past.
Would be nice.
The temperature today has been really nice.
so
When we arrived this morning, just wearing a t-shirt and a jumper,
Yeah, it
even
was
before
perfect.
the sun came over the mountains, is perfect. After the sun comes up, it gets to, I don't know, it must be around 24, 25 degrees or something
Yeah.
like that. It's lovely.
Best time to visit Machu Picchu is between March and October, because that's the kind of weather we have now, and between October and March is rainy season.
As you're walking through, There's all these beautiful flowers. Orchids are present in the area as well. I've just seen some bananas. As you can see on the right hand side, we've got a Peru rail train. Even though we're in the jungle, I haven't actually seen any mosquitoes yet, but what get you are these little black midgy bugs. Don't know if you can see my middle finger, but it's completely swollen. They leave a little red dot from where they take the blood, but they're really itchy.
Bug spray does not help. Come here, you will get bitten.
Yeah, and along the route there's actually a few places to get snacks. We've just come across like kind of a little restaurant-y type place, little cafe. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Stopped at one of these little rest stops, got some refreshments and gonna have my first Inca Cola. I've not had one yet, so wondering what it tastes like, but it's just nice to sit here with this stunning scenery and a bit of shade for 5 minutes. Apparently there's 20 minutes to go to the bus.
20 minutos.
15 a 20.
Eléctrica.
Sí, sí.
Perfecto.
Cheers. Yeah, big fan of Inca Cola. That's nice.
Gosh, it's like Mountain Dew. Yeah, I prefer Inca Cola to regular cola, definitely. Oh, that's so nice. Little sleepy puppy in the shade. I don't blame him, it's hot.
Let's go and say hello. Little sleepy pup. Hello. It's okay. Oh, you are a really cute one. Mucho caliente. You have a good rest, pup. My legs are gone. And we've made it back to hydroelectrica. Yay. Unfortunately there were no trains. We just came down from the railway line that's up there. You come down the stairs to hydroelectric and we heard a train come through.
Craig's been hoping all day. But Inca Cola guy was right, it was only about 20 minutes from where we stopped, which was good because we were flagging seriously at that point.
And there are so many little stop-offs to pick up snacks so like nice. We did, little sort of like huts or actual cafes along route as well. Yeah. It's nicely spaced out all the way along the route. At
that point that we stopped, I thought we still had an hour. So when he told us it was only 20 minutes, I was pretty happy about it. And my watch has unfortunately just died, but from the very top of Machu Picchu, from the gate where we left earlier, to here in hydroelectrica, it has been 9.5 kilometers and it took us just about 2.5 hours. So. Yeah.
Our legs feel it, but so happy with the way we've done it, getting the train into Aguas Calientes early and then hiking this back to hydroelectrica.
Yeah, you can hike both ways or get the train both ways, but I feel like we've had a good mix. We've managed to do a bit of train, a bit of hiking and a bit of bus all through Machu Picchu.
And that walk is just spectacular.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And yeah, it's flat apart from we did the first bit. You don't have to do that bit. We did that bit down. We're crazy.
But yeah, now we've got about a 7 or 8 hour journey back to Cusco and we're having the day off tomorrow. We're not setting our alarms or anything.
This bus is going to stink because everyone on it is going to be sweaty. Like nice.
But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes.
What an adventure that's been. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see where we head off to next here in Peru.
And please take a look at the Patreon link below because every little helps.
Yeah, thanks to our patrons.
It really does. Yeah, thanks to all our current patrons as well.
You're the best.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao.
Bye.
And literally the second we finished, look, the train's just rolling into the station. The train didn't come to us, so I'm going to the train. There we go, got it. Got absolutely brutally sprayed with dust in the process.